most off, don't think laser works. I've done it so many times, so consistently, and it always comes back. Like, the hair always comes back. So at this point, I feel like I'm literally paying for a premium version of waxing. Like, yes, the hair does take longer to grow back, but it's growing back nonetheless. So what is the difference?
So I went to get laser hair removal, and then I wound up in the ER because apparently the place that I went to does not know how to do like non-white skin properly, because I ended up with burns. And I went to the ER and they said I probably will have scarring, but I was gonna ask if anyone on here knows how to take care of burns so I don't scar.
Okay, I have a question. Anybody on here experience a lot of itching after like a laser session, like the first like maybe 1 to 2 days? Like, it's on fire.
You guys, this is the beard I started to grow after getting laser hair removal. Please listen to me when I tell you that you should never be taking a laser to your face. If you have peach fuzz, it is absolutely not the right thing. That's what I did. I had peach fuzz. I took a laser to my face and I started growing a beard. If you have thick, dark, coarse hair, laser might work for you, but honestly, it's not worth the risk. I would go straight into electrolysis. It's the only FDA-approved permanent form of hair removal that does not cause more facial hair growth. So if you don't want your hair to look like this and your face to look like that, I would stay away from laser hair removal.
Laser hair removal gave me a beard and no one warned me this would happen, so let's talk about it. A few months ago, I decided to go get laser done on my face, thinking I'd get the smooth, shiny skin everybody gets, but that did not happen. Instead, I got thicker, darker hair in places I'd never had it before. After going to a bunch of professionals, finally someone told me that this is called paradoxical hypertrichosis. This mostly affects people with hormonal imbalances like PCOS, darker skin, or lighter hair, and it leads to the heat from the laser stimulating the hair growth instead of destroying it. What frustrates me the most about this is that I haven't heard of any clinic or any influencer talking about this, and if I had known about this, I would have never gone near the machine. Stay safe, do your research, and be careful, ladies.
This is what my legs looked like after laser, so if you're considering laser hair removal, watch this. First of all, it's not permanent, it's a permanent reduction, so your hair comes back thinner, but it comes back. You need minimum 8 sessions, touch up every year, and if your hormones change, pregnancy, PCOS, anything, years of sessions can reset, just like that. Second, do not do laser on your face. Paradoxical regrowth is real. Instead of removing the hair, laser can stimulate more growth, so you'll end up with more hair than you started with. For the face, go for electrolysis instead. Third, and this is the one that would have saved my legs, if your skin tone is pretty much like mine, start with NDA laser. I wasn't even tan, I don't have a very dark skin, and I still got burned. So alexandrite laser comes later in the process, only when the hair is already much thinner. If a clinic goes straight to alexandrite on your first session, leave. I learned all of this the hard way, so you don't have to.
If you're thinking about getting laser hair removal underneath your arms, listen to this. One thing that I think they fail to tell you before you get it done is that it messes with your sweat glands. Don't get me wrong, I love my laser hair removal. Like, I don't ever have to shave, but what they don't tell you is that you will have sweaty pits and BO till the end of time. So let this be your warning.
If you're contemplating getting laser hair removal, may I just suggest that you don't. I got it and I paid like over $1,000 for it, and I had like 10 sessions or something. It kind of like worked a little bit at the start, and I have like the kind of hair where they say it's supposed to work really well. Like, I have pale skin and dark hair, but I went to this place. It's like one of the best places in Melbourne where you can do it. By about like the 6th one, which is like 6 out of 10, I had a different girl doing it than usual, and I told her that I'd shaved like earlier that day. And she was like, oh, do you want to move your appointment then and do it on a different day, because you should shave 24 hours beforehand? Oh, they did not tell me that. And some people are probably going to come on here and be like, well, you're stupid. You should have like known that. I don't know anything about that stuff. Okay, these guys told me when I started to shave before my appointment, so I did. What they didn't say was 24 hours. I know a lot of other people who've had laser as well, and I think just generally it's not really worth the hype or the money. I think there are better things you should do. And I would go for things like hair removal creams, and make sure you're exfoliating and stuff, and then moisturize after to make it more comfortable. I just want to share that for anyone who is in a similar position right now and not sure what they want. So,
laser therapists, can we please stop lasering people's faces? We know it's not good for it. We know that it exacerbates hair growth and it stimulates hair growth in other areas of the face that didn't have hair to begin with. So please, I know so many of you, especially in Australia, work in big clinics, you're overworked and underpaid, you just do whatever clients want you to do, but clients don't understand. It will stimulate hair growth. Laser's fantastic for the rest of the body. For the face, no. And for anyone thinking about getting their face lasered, don't do it, okay? It's not worth it. I've been seeing it for 14 years. People come in time and time and time again with hair in other parts of their faces that they never started off with.
Have you ever looked at something that everybody seems to love and thought, wait a minute, why is nobody talking about the other side of this? Because that's how I feel about laser hair removal. We've been sold this idea that laser hair removal is basically the dream solution. No more shaving, no more waxing, no more razor bumps, no more spending hours trying to get rid of unwanted hair, just a few sessions, and apparently you can walk away with smooth, hair-free skin. And honestly, I understand why people love it. If it works well for you, it can make life so much easier. But there is another side to this that I think deserves more attention, because laser hair removal is not as simple as pay for a few sessions and never worry about hair again. There are risks, there are limitations, there are people who don't get the results they expected, and there are situations where things can actually get worse. So today, I want to talk about what I consider the dark side of laser hair removal. And I'm not saying don't do it, I'm saying know exactly what you're getting yourself into before you hand over your money and put a laser on your skin. First, let's clear up one of the biggest misconceptions. Laser hair removal does not necessarily mean permanent hair removal. This is something that really bothers me about the way the treatment is sometimes marketed. You hear phrases like permanent hair removal, and naturally, you imagine that the hair is gone forever. You pay the money, finish your sessions, and that's the end of the story. But that's not necessarily how it works. Laser treatment can significantly reduce hair growth, and for some people, the results can be incredible. But that doesn't mean every single hair disappears forever. Some hair can grow back, and maintenance treatments may be needed. And that changes the way I look at the whole thing. Because if somebody is paying thousands of dollars thinking they are buying a permanent solution, only to discover later that they still need occasional treatments, that's something they should know before they start. And speaking of money, this brings me to another problem. The cost can really add up. When you first see the price of a laser hair removal package, it might not look too bad. Maybe you think, okay, I can afford that. But then you realize you may need multiple sessions. And after those sessions, you may need maintenance. Then you start treating another area, then another. Before you know it, what started as a small beauty expense has become a long-term financial commitment. And I'm not saying laser hair removal isn't worth the money. For some people, it absolutely is. But I think people should look at the total cost, not just the price of one session or one promotional package, because the cheaper option isn't always cheaper in the long run. But before we proceed, let me play you a few more of these personal testimonials, and then I'll come back with more commentary.
Let me tell you why you shouldn't get laser hair removal on your face while I pluck the literal hairs on my face. Last year, I made the stupid decision to get laser hair removal on my face. I was like preparing for getting ready for the wedding. I just got married in September. One thing I always heard from girls was like, you want your face to basically be hairless if you want like a good makeup application. Now maybe this is a time I finally get the hair removed off my face. Mind you, I started off with very little hair on my face to begin with. It was more like peach fuzz, but because it was black, that's why it was really obvious. And so I went ahead and started laser early last year. I wish I'd never done this because now my hair grows back thicker and it grows back faster, which is crazy. Like I swear I'm getting like hairier by the day and by the week, which makes no sense. My laser girl like had also told me that, oh, you're gonna like see such an improvement with your acne, which was also not true. It was one of the worst decisions I've ever made. I would go back to my peach fuzz in a heartbeat. So I can confidently say this was one of the worst decisions I've ever made. And now I have to keep microblading my face. Like there's no other way around it. Like what else am I supposed to do? I'm not gonna go back to laser hair removal. I don't want to like outright shave it. What I have been doing is microblading, but even that like I don't want to do long term. So what is the solution? Now have created a problem that was never really a problem to start with. So if you are thinking of getting laser hair removal on your face, please don't do it. You will regret it, especially if you're a brown girl. It is not that big of a deal, and to us, it's, you know, it's insecurity. I've dealt with it. I'm still dealing with it, so I get where you're coming from, but trust me, it is not worth it. Like, you will regret your decision.
Was your sign to never get laser hair removal on your face? It was genuinely the biggest regret of my 2025. I started getting laser hair removal on my face just because, like, I had some peach fuzz that I didn't like, when in reality it literally was fine for me to leave it there. But I got the laser hair removal done and I started growing stubble, like in a beard area that like a man would get a beard. My laser lady was like, no, this is fine, this is just like normal, but started growing into like serious stubble. So I did some research. Apparently you can get laser stimulated hair growth after you get laser done on your face. Of course it happened to me. I started growing a literal beard, did a bunch of research, and the only thing that people were saying would make it better was electrolysis. So I started getting electrolysis 6 months ago, and this is what I'm left with now. It's like strings of dark hair on my face and on my neck, but it was so much worse when I started the electrolysis. So is your sign to not touch your face with a laser, because you will put yourself in a position where you will be growing a beard and have to pay hundreds and thousands of dollars in electrolysis to get it taken care of. So it has the complete opposite effects of getting laser hair removal. I wish I knew this. I wish somebody told me this. So I'm telling you guys because I'm sitting here waiting to leave for my electrolysis appointment and just bracing myself for the pain that I'm about to experience and the scars that I'll have on my face for 2 weeks. Don't do it. Like, please, for the love of God, don't do it.
So they burnt my face and my armpits. Let me get close and personal to show you. I actually have makeup on. I'm gonna remove the makeup and I'll show you the burns that I got from laser hair removal. This is my face without makeup and you can see where it got burned. I also got burned in my armpits and that was so painful. So here's what happened. I went to a place to get laser hair removal. I did my underarms, and when I tell you, the second she started, I felt like my skin was on fire. I felt my skin burn in that very moment. And it's so painful that I can't like put deodorant or like move my arms around. And then my face, so I did my chin area and then she went up to like my sideburns, and this side's not that bad, but this side, like, so bad.
2 days ago, I was burnt after having laser hair removal on my arms. I had been exposed to the sun. I put this in my waiver. I sign this waiver every time. I've been having laser hair removal for years. On the waiver, it asked, had you been exposed to the sun in the last 4 weeks? I ticked yes. I was working outside. I put SPF on, but it is just sometimes unavoidable. It then said, if yes, your therapist will either delay your treatment if deemed unsafe, or they will adjust the frequency to suit your skin. So as a very pale person, that usually picks up quite well with laser. But as soon as I change my skin colour with a tan, you then need to reduce the frequency so that you don't burn your skin. This is what my arm is currently looking like. And this is my other arm. I have been back in and they've given me LED yellow light therapy to help reverse the pigment and improve cell turnover. But I am just so devastated. I've been having laser for years and it just never worked. And I finally found this place and my hair was literally gone. And this was my last session. And I was just so ready to be confident and done and all of that. And now I feel like I'm just back at square one. Obviously, I have to keep my arms covered when I'm outside. It cannot be in the sunlight. I have to wear SPF. They've given me loads of creams that I need to put on. And I'm just trying to speed up the healing process as best as I can.
So my laser hair removal place burned me, like bad. So what do I do?
It's on one of my underarms, and this was the third session. So like, I thought, I don't know, the level that they used previously was like written down somewhere or something. I have no idea, but it was started off really strong, and then she was like, oh, like, is that too much? Like, it shouldn't burn or whatever. And I was like, yeah, that kind of burns. So then we went lower. But like, I don't know, it just seems like it would be common sense to go low and then start high, because if you're starting too high, then it's already too late, which is exactly what happened. I'm like scared to show because it's so bad. It's so bad. Yeah, so that's what that looks like. I got it done 2 days ago. So yesterday, the day right after, my arm was like so uncomfortable and it hurt so bad the entire day. Like, I don't think I can go to the gym and like work out because it hurts. I mean, now that I have Vaseline on it, it feels better, but like, what the hell, that looks so bad. And my skin is like known for scarring so bad, and it takes forever to heal. So I'm scared that like, when is this gonna go away? Like, it looks awful. Spring and summer and good weather time is just right around the corner. I can't be walking around looking like this. So I've been putting Vaseline on and Mederma Scar cream. I saw that was really good. So hopefully that makes it go away. I don't know like what type of severity this burn is. Like, I don't know if it's permanent. I don't know if it's gonna go away completely or like how long it'll take. But like, what do I do in terms of calling them? And like what do I say? Like, am I owed something? Like, someone please help and tell me what to do. I think apparently you can sue only if it's like permanent skin damage, but like, I don't know if this has happened to anyone else. I feel like it's honestly pretty common from the amount of TikToks that I saw. But
I let my gynecologist give me laser hair removal, and it left me with third-degree burns all over my body, including my butthole. Now, when I tell people that I let my gynecologist do laser hair removal on me, everyone looks at me like I'm crazy, okay? So let me just tell you, I need empathy in the comments. You have to understand where I'm coming from, okay? I don't know about you, but when I first heard about laser hair removal, it seemed like it was a pretty serious practice. You know, you're using lasers to fry your hair follicles. At this time in 2019, when laser hair removal was getting popular, it seemed like everyone was doing it. Seeing all of these places pop up all throughout LA offering laser hair removal as their primary service, it just didn't seem safe to me, right? Like, none of these places were showing paperwork that they were authorized to use lasers on people. I just felt like personally that should be done by someone that has gone to school to be like handling lasers. When it comes to lasers, I just feel like this needs to be done by a doctor. I don't know. At this time, I had a gynecologist that I was regularly going to manage my periods and just gynecologist stuff. She was like in her late 30s, early 40s, had really good bedside manner, was just like a friendly person. One day, I walk into this gynecologist office, and while I'm sitting in the waiting room waiting for her to be available, I see that they put out a big sign advertising laser hair removal at their practice, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. This seems like a good deal. It's done at my gynecologist office, and I love my gynecologist, and she's an actual doctor because she actually delivers babies and does things that require way more training and education than the girlies over at the Laser Away. Laser Away, I'm so sorry. I should have gone to you the whole time. I doubted you, and I fucked up. From then on, I started going to this woman once a month for my laser hair removal appointments. The first 5 sessions go by. I swear to you, the pain of laser hair removal, I feel like I have a very high pain tolerance. I love getting tattoos. I've had 7 spine surgeries because a car decided to run into me on the freeway. I've experienced pain. The pain of this lady's laser hair removal, genuinely worse than anything else I've ever felt. For 5 sessions straight, I'm getting my ass absolutely kicked by this lady's laser. Every time she would do an area, she would go over the area with like an ice roller because it hurt so bad, and the ice roller would cool the area down immediately after she would laser it, right? On the 5th time that this lady does my laser hair removal, she is doing it as fast as she can. Like, she's really trying to get through this laser. I could tell during this session, she was rushing and something just felt off. Something was not right. And this particular session, she did not use the ice roller on me. Like, she did not cool off the area after hitting it. She kind of went through all the areas really fast. I could just feel that something was wrong. My skin just felt like it was not good. I go home from this session. Not even 20 minutes after getting home, my skin looked like this. almost like these welts just start showing up all over my body. So immediately, this is the moment where I email my doctor and I send her some pictures and I'm like, hey girl, just got home. It's been 20 minutes. My skin kind of hurts and it's looking like this. This lady emails me back and tries to tell me, oh yeah, that's just normal. Just let it wait out. Just let it breathe. This is what my skin looks like after an hour. I send this lady an update email with new photos and I'm like, hey, this is what it looks like now. What the fuck is going on with my body? At this point, this lady tries to turn the whole situation on me and says in the follow-up email, wow, this looks really odd. I've never seen this before. But usually this means that you've had some sun exposure before the appointment. You know, you're really not supposed to go in the sun before getting laser hair removal. Now, here's the thing. I was given very clear rules before going into this laser hair removal process. I knew that, 30 days of no sun exposure. I was following these rules, right? Like I knew these rules. That is when my butt crack started to itch. I don't want to hear it because I did exactly what all of y'all would have done as well. I took my phone, pulled my pants down, and I took a flash image of my butthole. And sure enough, my butthole was scabbing. And that is when I knew that this bitch was capping because I damn well know my butthole has not seen the sun in its entire life. You guys are really not gonna like how this story ended because I know a lot of you guys are going to say, I hope that you sued this woman. And believe me, I did think about it. Number one, I'm not the type of person to just go sue someone. Number two, during this whole process, I had just come out of a third spine surgery. I had just underwent a major disc herniation surgery. I was currently in recovery. I was already very stressed and already dealing with surgeries and insurance and medical stuff, and I just couldn't take on litigation. And number three, which I hate that I did this, but I was really young and I am a different person now. I almost felt like I would have been the bad guy if I would have taken legal action against this woman because she had become kind of a friend to me and I genuinely could not believe that she had done this to me and wasn't really taking she just wasn't really apologizing. She wasn't really taking responsibility. Honestly, I just could not believe what was happening. I felt like I was the bad person for calling her out and getting mad at her. So I just didn't want to. I don't know, y'all. I'm really trying to be better at standing up for myself, but at this time, I just could not. What I did do though is ask them over email to refund me for my whole treatment and just be done with it, which they did immediately because I guarantee they knew that their asses were 2 steps away from getting sued. I did not leave a review on this lady's website. I did not tell anybody what she had done to me. I definitely thought about it, but there's a lot of things in my life that I have stayed quiet on that I probably shouldn't have. But if you see my skin now, this is still a burn. This is still a burn. This is a burn. This is a burn. These are still the burns. It's actually looking pretty good now. My legs still have burns on them. Look, I have nothing against anyone that goes and does laser hair removal, but me personally, if I could go back in time, I would have never, ever, ever done this treatment. I think we all need to realize that hair on your body is totally normal. We don't need to be doing all of this, right? It's been 6 years since this incident and my body still has the scars and I still have hair all over my body after 5 sessions. I personally don't think that laser hair removal is worth it, but y'all spend your money however you want. If you do have a darker skin tone, laser hair removal gets a little bit more tricky and you have to be very careful on the setting that the laser is used. Lasers do target dark hair follicles, and if you have a darker skin tone, sometimes the laser can get confused and think that your skin is the hair follicle, which could lead to easier burns and scarring. So if you do want laser hair removal and you have darker skin, please go to someone that knows how to work and is experienced with darker skin tones.
Don't shave. Worst decision ever. Don't shave your face. Don't get laser. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. I'm telling you from experience. If you're thinking of getting laser hair removal done, especially on your face, don't do it, especially as a brown girl, especially if you're someone who has PCOS. It's not worth it. Just don't do it. It's not worth it, and I'll let you know why. So my laser journey started with IPL. I had the Philips Lumiere machine, and it was just taking a really long time to do it and a really long time to see results, but I was seeing results. But then it ran out of beeps. And I was like, what? What do you mean? So it just stopped working, and I googled it and it's like, yeah, it runs out of beeps. Essentially means it has like a certain lifespan. I decided, I'm just gonna fork out on laser because I'll see better results and someone else is doing it, so it'll be quick. So I went to a clinic. Long story short, they were terrible. Didn't see any results. But I was going there because they were cheap. And the famous saying goes, the rich man buys nice, the poor man buys twice. And I ended up buying twice. So then I was like, I need to put real money into this and go to like a well-known clinic. So I went to a clinic. They have many stores up and down the country. They're really well known. And so they do a patch test to see if it's gonna irritate your skin or not, because otherwise you can't do laser if it causes any like rashes or bumps or like damage to your skin. So I did that and it was fine. And I noticed that my patch test was actually, I was seeing really good results on my patch test that I was not seeing going to the many sessions at the previous clinic. So I was like, okay. So I booked the 12 session slot. At first it was going fine. I mean, I've seen a lot of reduction on my arms. Like for example, I don't know if you can see, but there's only minimal hair. On my face, however, I got really bad, thick stubble that I still have. I don't have it right now because I've taken it off. But yeah, it just caused a lot of issues for me. So we were getting towards the end of the 12 sessions and I was like, why am I getting stubble? Like why is it not gone? Why is it not going? And like, oh, for some people it takes longer, And I was just like they said to me, my hair will like be gone in 12 sessions or drastically reduced. But after the 12 sessions, my hair was just thicker than ever. It wasn't reduced. It didn't like go down or whatever they were saying was going to happen. It got worse and it looked worse, and I had red like patches on my face from like the irritation of shaving, because at that point I was having to shave like every day or a couple times a day because of how bad the stubble was. My skin was getting irritated and I felt really sad, and it really affected my confidence. And like, your face is the first thing that people see like when they're talking to you or when they come across you or like whatever. And I was like, why do I have like a beard? It gave me a beard essentially. And I did my research and apparently that can happen. I feel like that's something they should let you know of. I just wanted my hair to be gone. That was just my, like, as a brown girl, we're more hairy, you know, and it's an insecurity that I've had. And I was like, yeah. On my arms and legs, it's like been fine, I guess. It's still not 100%, which is another point. Laser's not permanent. Despite what anyone tells you, you're gonna always have to do top-ups. And if you get pregnant, hormones all over the place, you're gonna just get all your hair back to how it was pre-laser, so you're gonna have wasted all your money. So I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna save up and do electrolysis, I think it's called. Once I've like had my kids and whatnot, that's an option I'll go for. In the meantime, I'll stick to waxing. I don't have PCOS. I thought I had it because I have a lot of the symptoms of it, but I don't, thankfully. So if you're someone that does have it, the effects are most likely going to be worse. I think there's an influencer called Tahtir. She like talks about how laser made her basically have a hairy face and stuff. I think she's like come to terms that she's okay with it. I personally, I'm not happy. Like I will get rid of every single hair. Like I don't want it there. Laser made it worse. Obviously it is what it is. It's not a big deal. And when I see other people, if they have facial hair, it's not a big deal. But for me personally, it's just a really big insecurity. I wasted so much money on this and it's just giving me worse results because my biggest insecurity was my face. And I just think that it's a scam. I don't know like who it works on. I think if you have really fair skin and really dark hair, like I think I have a really big contrast. My hair is basically really dark than brown skin, but it's a big contrast still. But I didn't get the desired results, and so I just don't know. I know a lot of people who also haven't. The only people I know that it has semi-worked on are the people that have really fair skin, like really fair skin and dark hair. So in that sense, I guess, like, if that's you, you go for it, but at your own risk. But definitely if you have PCOS or any sort of, like, hormonal imbalances, just don't. It's gonna, especially if you're insecure, it's gonna just make it 10 times worse. It's not worth it, and that's my tuppence. And I just think that I wish someone warned me, because I wasted money on it. and it's just made the situation worse.
If you're brown skinned, do not do laser. Coming from a person who's been doing it for 3 years. So my dumbass didn't realise how ineffective it is until a year in of doing it. And the funny thing is that they never would tell you when you first sign up with them about the difference between your skin and someone who's fairer. And it makes sense, obviously, because they want the money. But man, I could have saved so much money if I knew this beforehand. So if you don't know, and this is how I found out, because throughout multiple sessions, I've had multiple different females tell me about my skin and how it's different compared to other people. Us girls that are brown would not have better results than those who are whiter. And you might be like, why is that? Apparently because of our melanin. I'm not even lying to you. I found out 2 years after me doing laser that they have to book me in another room than someone else that's brighter skinned than I am because of the machine difference. And it's funny because you know why? Because the brown girl one has less voltage than for people with whiter skin. So we pay the exact same price as those who are whiter, even though it's less effective and there's less voltage that they'll put through in your body purposely because you've got melanin. How yum. I could go on and on and on about all the things I've learned through multiple different women that I've met from my laser clinic, but it would take too many parts. Let me know if you want to know.
Fun facts of the day of where I'm at. I made the big mistake of doing laser hair removal on certain areas of my face, even though I really just had like peach fuzz, but my hair is dark, so peach fuzz like shows up more for me than other people. And they did tell me that it's risky because it might stimulate more hair growth, and then the hair that will grow will be like thick and black. And one day I woke up and I touched my face and it felt like I had a beard. So now I have to come do this for the rest of my life. So when I come and they do the areas now, I'll be good for like a month or 2 or whatever, and then it'll grow back. Like, I don't know. I would show you, but like, I don't know, you can't really tell on camera, but you can totally tell in person. It's like right here, and underneath here. Like, I don't know why I regret having them laser it. It really wasn't even that bad. I don't know why I did it. Let me know if anyone has been in like a similar situation, and if just like lasering on top of that over and over again like will eventually help, because it's scary. Like when it fully grows out, it's really, really, really scary to have a beard as a girl.
And my laser girl burned me so bad. Do you want to see? Burned. My mom is pissed.
This is month 7 of me doing laser hair removal for my PCOS hirsutism. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty disappointed on this month. This is the last set of laser hair removal appointments that I have actually paid for. I paid for a 6-month plan. I've just finished the like extra 7th month. They didn't really talk to me about anything. Like, we talked as usual, like we chatted and everything, but they didn't talk to me about what I should expect in the next few months. They didn't ask me if I wanted to do another set of laser hair removal appointments. They didn't talk about my progress or anything. So it was just very strange feeling. It felt like very inconclusive. I didn't even really think about how strange it was until afterward I had left, and I basically finished up the appointment, and I went to talk to the receptionist, and she was like, oh, let's get you set up for your next appointment. And I was like, oh, I don't think I have any more. She's like, oh, you're right, you have no more appointments. So it was just very like anticlimactic, I guess I expected more like information, explanation. We see you still have hair type thing. Like, this is a week of no shaving for me after 7 months of doing laser hair removal. So you can see, like, I still have hair and everything like that. So it's not like I'm completely done, but there was no follow-up to say that, oh, actually you should be doing more, you know. A little disappointing. I've talked to a lot of very helpful people. I appreciate y'all so much in regards to generally what I should do, finding out if I'm using the wrong laser, finding out if laser hair removal is even right. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I've talked to a lot of y'all, and I really appreciate all your advice. because I've heard some people say continue past 6 months, and I've heard some people say stop it immediately, go to electrolysis. For laser hair removal, I don't know. I guess I just I expected better results at this point. So I think if I'm going to do anything, it would be electrolysis next, but electrolysis is expensive, truthfully. For anybody who doesn't know, I lost my job in August, so I don't have a job right now. So doing electrolysis is just not a good monetary decision, so I have to wait. So I'm going to do an update video, especially since I have to wait. And a lot of people, basically why they don't go straight into electrolysis is the price, very truthfully. So I'm going to give y'all at least an update on my laser hair removal results in a month, just to say how much of my hair grows back in with a month, especially when there's things like paradoxical hypertrichosis, where your hair grows back in thicker, fuller than after laser hair removal, you know. So I'm gonna do an update in a month to let y'all know what my hair looks like, and I'm just gonna be doing what I can in the meantime, because everybody knows, like, when, especially if you have PCOS and hirsutism, like, you don't love the hair, right? So I have to still do something in the meantime, even if it's shaving, if it's doing teas, if it's spearmint, any different like type of supplement. Basically, I'll be doing that in the meantime until I have a job again and I can pay for electrolysis.
Okay, but look at my legs. I need some help. I need some advice. So I go and get laser hair removal. I've been getting laser hair removal done since 2017, 2018 maybe. I've never burned, not one single time. I currently am on just medication for heartburn and medication for cholesterol, nothing else. I've never burned before. I have no sun exposure. The upper legs were also done, and you can see that they're not burnt at all. It's only the lower legs here. I don't know if the technician did something wrong and put this on the wrong setting, or if one of my medications is maybe interacting, or if something's wrong with the machine. But I'm supposed to go to Florida this weekend, coming up, next weekend, I guess, with my daughter-in-law for her bachelorette party. And I need this healed before I go. Like, I look like a leper, for crying out loud. This is horrible. So can you guys please give me some advice on what do I do with my legs here? Is there something that I can do? I mean, it hurt. These, I think they're like 2nd-degree burns. I couldn't walk for like 2 hours. It hurt so bad. My daughter actually had to bring me some medication to help calm the burn that had lidocaine in it so that I could actually walk and get some relief. It still hurts to the touch, and it definitely hurts when I get in the shower with warm water. So I have to be really, really gentle with it. So advice, what can I put on this to accelerate the healing so that when I go to Florida in a week, which I will wear sunscreen, I will be very careful and protect it, but how can I make it look better? Because I am going to be wearing, you know, sundresses and shorts and bathing suits. It's Florida. Help.
Did you know that laser hair removal isn't supposed to be traumatizing and burn your skin off? Well, I just found out. So, a little story time. I've been going to do my laser at this specific spa, and honestly, the service was always so nice, so good, but I just felt like there was something wrong because the machine was literally burning me. I left and I had like burn marks on, you know, and it was really, really bad, and it was burning me, and every time I had to go, I was like, oh, this is so, one, so expensive, and two, literally burned so bad that I want to like cry. We couldn't even let her do the laser on me without like flinching. Like, my whole body would shake, and when I left, my legs were shaking, everything was shaking. It hurt so bad. Okay, and I just thought this was normal. I just thought this was normal, like this is how it was gonna be. And then for funsies, I decided to try laser hair removal on my armpits at the place I always go to for my facials and any skin treatments, and it was life-changing. They have the machine that has like the cold air, so it was literally amazing.
Okay, let's talk about it. So my brown girls, if you're thinking of getting laser done, great. Do it all over your body. Awesome. But please, please do not touch your face. Do not let them laser your chin, your neck, any of that area. In my opinion, this might be different with other people that have gotten laser done, like brown girls in specific, but whoever like I've talked to who's touched their face as a brown girl, they have struggled like crazy. And me personally, like, it was the biggest regret of my life. Like, I cannot believe the hair growth like I got after doing laser out. Like, to be honest, like, I only had very little hair, but it was specifically on my chin and maybe a little on my neck. But it is nowhere close to the hair growth that I got after finishing my sessions. I legit grew a beard and my neck was disgusting. My entire area was so coarse, and I did the entire sessions. Like, I think they recommended like 6, and then they're like, yeah, you can add on more. But like, to be honest, I was just like, this is not it. This isn't it. Like, I can't keep going to get my laser done and damaging my skin, especially my face. Like, I do makeup. Like, I can't be doing that to my skin. But honestly, like, I'm so mad at like these like laser clinics that don't tell you like, hey, by the way, this is something that can happen. They always try to sell you like, oh no, like you'll address the issue and like, you know, you reduce your hair growth and maybe it's like hormonic, blah blah. But like, I get that, but I don't get like the 20 billion hair that's growing on my skin now as an effect of the laser that I've gotten done. From going from like such little hair to like a beard. Are you kidding me? So just FYI, if you're thinking of getting laser done on your face, don't do it, in my opinion. Not to offend anybody, but I just thought I had to get on here because everybody's talking about laser. Don't. Or think about it real hard, because you don't want to be stuck with a beard.
I keep seeing these lists of things that are worth the money, and laser hair removal is on most of them. And as I do believe laser hair removal could be worth the money, don't be like me. Don't be like me. I'm going to tell y'all right now, save y'all money and do your research first. See me, I'm thirsty. I be doing stuff too fast. I've had over 30 sessions of laser hair removal and I've spent thousands of dollars. And what I didn't know is that not all lasers work on melanated women. Mistake number 1. The first 2 places I went to, they did not work on black women in thicker hair. They didn't know what they was doing. I wasted my time and money. The last person I went to, she was a black woman. She had a really good laser, because not all lasers are the same. You want to do your research on the laser that the place is using. She had a really good laser, but I stopped going. So I did 12 sessions over the span of over a year. Then I was done. I was just, I'm done. It's all going to be good. No, that hair grew back like nothing ever happened. I was Barbara Bush all over again.
Seeing the video of the girl that just got severely burned on her underarms because of laser hair removal makes me extremely sad and upset as a woman of color, as an esthetician, and as somebody who's gotten burned in the past because of laser hair. Like, why is this still happening? But anyways, I just want to give some tips to my melanated ladies to hopefully prevent this from ever happening to you. So just listen up. The first thing is you want to ask what laser they're using, and you want to make sure that it is a YAG with a wavelength of 1064. Okay, this is the one that is safe for all skin types and is great for darker skin tones. The next thing is you want to make sure you give them your entire medical history along with anything you're using topically on your skin that could potentially photosensitize you to the laser. So you want them to know if you're on any antibiotics, if you are on anything like a retinol, or even just on AHAs, any sort of acids. Just please disclose all of this information. Sure that you have not had any recent sun exposure. You should have at least a 2-week break, but honestly I would push it to even 4 to 6 weeks of no direct sun, because that means your melanin is going to be super active and present within your skin. It also does not hurt to ask for a patch test. That way you can see your skin's reactivity level and see how prone you are to hyperpigmentation. Honestly, if you're just scared of laser altogether, I would really suggest you considering electrolysis. The results are amazing from that too. I know it's just typically a little bit harder to find a technician that does electrolysis because it's a little bit more of a tedious procedure, but it is definitely safe for any skin type, and it doesn't matter if you've been in the sun.
Now let's talk about something nobody wants to hear about when they're excited about getting smooth skin: pain. Yes, laser hair removal can hurt. Some people describe the sensation as little rubber bands snapping against the skin. Other people describe it as heat, sharp pinching, or a burning sensation. And how painful it feels can depend on the person, the area being treated, the laser being used, and how sensitive your skin is. And as you know, some areas of the body are much more sensitive than others. So if you're thinking it's a laser, it can't be that bad, I would definitely not go into your first appointment with that attitude. You might tolerate it perfectly well, or you might find it surprisingly uncomfortable. And then there is the issue that concerns me even more. What happens when something goes wrong? Because this is still a procedure involving your skin. If the settings are wrong, if the skin isn't assessed properly, or if the person operating the machine doesn't know what they're doing, you can end up with burns, blisters, scabbing, irritation, or changes in the texture of your skin. And that is a completely different situation from simply having a little redness after treatment. Imagine going in because you want smoother skin and walking away with a mark that wasn't there before. And that's the part that I think people need to take seriously. And this becomes especially important when we're talking about people with darker skin. Laser technology has come a long way, and there are laser systems that can be used safely and effectively on darker skin tones. But that doesn't mean every laser is suitable for every person. The reason is simple. The laser is interacting with pigment, so choosing the right technology and the right settings matters. If you're someone with a deeper skin tone, I personally would not be comfortable going to just any random place because they have a good deal on laser hair removal. I would want someone who actually understands darker skin and knows how to treat it properly, because the last thing you want is to save money on the treatment and then spend even more money trying to fix a skin problem afterward. And that brings me to something else that can happen: changes in skin color. Some people can experience hyperpigmentation, which means areas of the skin become darker after treatment. Others can experience hypopigmentation, where areas become lighter. And here's the thing about pigmentation changes: they aren't always something you can simply wash away and forget about. Sometimes they fade with time. Sometimes they can take months to improve, and in some cases, they can be extremely stubborn. For me, that's one of the biggest reasons why I think people need to think beyond the promise of smooth skin, because hair grows back, but a pigmentation problem can become a much bigger issue. Now, here's something that I think is particularly interesting. Laser hair removal can sometimes have the opposite effect from what you wanted. There is a rare complication known as paradoxical hypertrichosis. In simple terms, instead of the treated area becoming less hairy, some people can experience increased or thicker hair growth around the treated area. And that sounds crazy when you first hear it. You're literally paying someone to remove hair, and in rare cases, the treatment can stimulate additional hair growth. And this isn't something that happens to everyone, but it is a real possibility, particularly in certain situations involving fine hair and some facial areas. And personally, I think this is exactly why people should be careful about treating very fine hair just because they don't like the way it looks. Sometimes, trying to get rid of a little bit of peach fuzz can create a much bigger problem. Another thing that people don't always think about is hormones. Your body doesn't know that you just spent money on laser hair removal. If your hormones change, your hair growth can change too. Pregnancy, menopause, and certain hormonal conditions can all affect hair growth. So you could complete your treatments, enjoy the results, and then later notice new hair appearing because your body has changed. And again, that's not necessarily the fault of the laser, it's just biology. But it's another reason why I don't like the idea of selling laser hair removal as a guaranteed forever solution. Your body is constantly changing. And then we have the issue of hair color. Laser doesn't work equally well on every type of hair. It tends to work best when there is enough pigment in the hair for the laser to target. Some people with very light blonde, white, gray, and some red hair may not get the same results as someone with darker, coarser hair. And this is important because someone can see another person getting amazing results and assume they are going to have exactly the same experience. But you can't always compare your results to somebody else's. Your hair, your skin, your hormones, the treatment area, the technology being used can all make a difference. Another thing I think people underestimate is that results can be uneven. You might have an area where the hair reduces dramatically, while another area seems to hold on for dear life. You might end up with patches where the hair is much thinner and other patches where it continues growing. And that can be frustrating because when you're spending money on a cosmetic treatment, you naturally want everything to look consistent, but your body doesn't always cooperate with your expectations. And then there's the whole issue of aftercare. Laser hair removal isn't something where you just walk out of the clinic and continue your normal routine without thinking about it. You may need to be careful about sun exposure. You may need to avoid certain methods of removing hair between sessions. You may have to change some of the products you're using on your skin around treatment time. And if you're somebody who loves tanning or spends a lot of time in the sun, this is something you really need to think about, because sun exposure can affect how safely the treatment can be performed and can increase the risk of certain skin reactions. So suddenly, this quick beauty treatment comes with a list of rules. And for me, I think that's something people should factor into the decision. But perhaps the biggest lesson I take from all of this is that the person holding the laser can matter just as much as the machine itself. You can have expensive treatment, but if the treatment isn't properly customized to your skin and hair, that doesn't magically make it safe. I would rather go to someone who understands my skin, knows the technology they're using, takes the time to assess me and is willing to tell me when laser isn't the right option, because that's another red flag for me. If somebody is willing to promise you perfect results before they've even properly looked at your skin and hair and be asking questions, a good provider should be talking to you about your expectations, your skin type, your hair type, possible side effects, and what kind of results are realistically achievable. They shouldn't just be trying to get you to sign up for the biggest package. And let's talk about expectations, because I think that's where a lot of disappointment comes from. Laser hair removal can be amazing, but amazing doesn't mean perfect. You may get a huge reduction in hair growth. You may find shaving almost unnecessary. You may absolutely love your results, but you shouldn't walk into the treatment expecting your body to become permanently hairless forever. And I think that's the mindset people need to have, because when you understand the limitations, you're less likely to feel cheated if you need maintenance later. You're also more likely to make careful decision about whether the treatment is actually worth it for you. And finally, there's a bigger conversation I think we need to have about beauty standards. We become so used to being told that body hair is something we need to remove that sometimes we forget it's completely normal. There's nothing wrong with wanting smooth skin. If you prefer being hair-free, that's your choice. But I don't think anybody should feel like they have to spend thousands of dollars and go through painful treatments because they're being made to believe that having body hair is somehow dirty, unattractive, or unacceptable. And that's why I think the beauty industry can sometimes cross a line. It takes something completely normal, convinces us that it's a problem, and then sells us the solution. And I'm not saying that's the entire story behind laser hair removal, but I do think it's worth asking yourself one simple question. Am I doing this because I genuinely want to, or because I've been made to feel like I need to? At the end of the day, I don't think laser hair removal is evil, and I don't think everyone should avoid it. For the right person with the right expectations, the right technology, and a qualified professional, it can be a really effective way to reduce unwanted hair. But I also don't think we should pretend there is no downside. It can be expensive, it can hurt, results aren't guaranteed to be permanent, some people don't respond as well as others, hormonal changes can bring hair back, and although uncommon, there can be serious skin reactions and other complications. So if you're thinking about getting laser hair removal, don't just look at the before and after pictures. Ask questions, find out what type of laser they're using, make sure they understand your skin tone, ask what can go wrong, ask how many sessions you're realistically going to need, ask about maintenance, and most importantly, don't let a discount or a salesperson pressure you into making a decision about your skin. Because when it comes to something like this, I would rather spend a little more time doing my research than spend years wishing I had. And that's really my biggest takeaway. Laser hair removal might be life-changing for some people, but it's not magic. It's not completely risk-free. And it's definitely not a one-size-fits-all solution. So before you put your skin under the laser, make sure you're getting the full story, not just the smooth skin promise.
Almost a year ago, I was burnt by a laser tech, and to this day, I still get messages from girls that have just been burnt asking me, what do I do? How do I fix this? For me, I was burnt all over my back and all over my tummy. And the number one tip that I can give you is do not panic buy all these products that you don't need. The only product that I used was Laser Aid, so like a post laser gel cream or even like an after sun situation, and that literally works fine. Your body will heal itself. So obviously initially you can tell that you've been burnt. It hurts so bad, and you look at yourself and you see these massive red blotchy spots. So naturally I'm bawling my eyes out. I'm like, what do I do? From when I got burnt till about 4 weeks later, I was in that clinic getting heel light therapy 4 times a week. And during that time, that's when I was using the Laser Aid. And then around the 4-week mark, you can tell that your spots are getting darker in color. This is when you're going to stop the heel light. This is when you're going to stop moisturizing. You are just going to let the spots almost turn black and peel off. During this time, do not touch them. Do not peel them. Do not scratch them. Nothing. Let them fall off naturally. Then after they're all peeled off, they're going to be white. So basically the 3 stages are red, black, then white. Once you're left with all these lovely white spots, you are going to try your best to even out your skin tone. I would just go and lay in the sun. I would sunscreen around every single little dot and try and even out my skin tone by getting a tan in the sun. I would say the whole recovery took around 3 months. Obviously, during this time, we are not getting laser. You just need to give your skin a break. You need to let it cool down. I don't think I got laser probably for about 5 to 6 months after that happened because 1, I was traumatized, and 2, you just need to give yourself a break. But the number one tip I would give is to just be patient, let your body do its thing. Everything will be okay. You will go back to normal. It's long, it's annoying, but you've just got to wait it out.
If you made it this far, I appreciate you watching. Creators' handles are in the description box below, so go give them some support. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.